Autistic Gamer 7, and welcome back to another Create Sim video. This is obviously the Pokemon Create Sim Series 2 we have going on here. And this one is me making Dragapult from Gen 8. A lot of the ones in this Series 2 I have been doing of Gen 8, but it's not going to be all Gen 8. By the time Dragapult comes out, there should have been a few from other gens as well, and I do have more planned that are from different gens. It's just because Gen 8 recently came out, and where I had a Series 1, I've already had some of the previous gens being made, so there's a lot of Gen 8 in this series. But Dragapult was one that I 100% was going to do no matter what. Dragapult is actually, like, basically my favorite that came from Gen 8. I love Dragapult so much. I want a freaking Dragapult plushie, and apparently, like, I seen about a week or two ago, maybe that long, maybe it wasn't that long ago, I don't know, I'm losing track of how fast and slow things are going anymore. But they did actually come out with a Dragapult plushie, but right now it's only in the Pokemon Center Japan, and it makes me sad, so I'm hoping that either I can find it somewhere where the shipping is not too ridiculous, or that I can order it from Japan somehow, or it comes to the American Pokemon Center. I'm hoping, because I really want a freaking Dragapult plushie. But, that being said, with Dragapult being my favorite, basically, from Gen 8, which, if you don't know what Dragapult looks like, he should already be down in the bottom left corner for you all who are not as familiar with Pokemon. So, because I know people coming to this video, there's a chance that you may come because you like Sims or because you like Pokemon. There's going to be some that are both like me, but for those of you who are not as aware of Pokemon, at least, I'll give you that little picture down there. But because he was my favorite, I had a lot of expectations in my head, so I was both excited and nervous to do this one compared to some of the others, because I was afraid that I wasn't going to do Dragapult justice. And I will say I'm actually pretty happy with how he turned out. I wouldn't say that his sim is one of my favorite from the series, from Pokemon to CAS Series 1 and 2. He's definitely up there, but I wouldn't say he's definitely not in my top 5, sadly. And probably not in the top 10. But I still am actually really happy with the outcome, and was overall pleased with it. But yeah, trying to figure out how to make him as a sim was pretty hard. He is a dragon ghost type, and he has two-tone skin. He has this very odd shaped head, which is supposed to be resembling, like, you know, airships and things like that. And he is also based off of I forgot some sort of salamander, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it was trying to figure out what I was gonna do was a little bit hard, trying to figure out. And the thing is like, the hairstyle, like, I didn't go for the bright red that is on him, because one, there wasn't too many bright red options like that, and the few that I had, just, they didn't totally look right. And the part of this is to try to make the sim look decent, and also try to get it's a mesh of blending Sims and Pokemon together, like a balanced mesh, or at least trying to. So trying to still make them look like a semi-believable sim, a good looking sim, and have remnants of their Pokemon. So the hair color I did choose is definitely not very red, and depending on your screen, it might not look actually as red as it is, but it is more of a redder tone, but it's got almost like a purplish underhue, which is obviously not totally like Dragapult. But like I said, trying to go for a look that was decent and trying to get the right colors is sometimes really hard. Obviously, I didn't go full realism with this one, because the skin tone is definitely not realistic unless you play with occults and things like that. Then, you know, you can make it believable. I personally do, so every once in a while with my Pokemon Sims, I do tend to try to give them closer to normal looking skin tones, but I have that one that sort of almost just calls for having a slightly different skin tone, and it's fine for me. But I will let you know, if you switch him to a tan color skin tone, like one of the darker tans, the sim looks really, really nice. I did actually try that just as a curiosity. Sometimes I will try them like after I completely finish making them, the ones that have the odd skin tones. I will try them with some of the more normal skin tones just to see how they look. So, still looks like a really good sim if you change it to a normal skin tone. But for the purposes of Dragapult, obviously we're going to keep this more odd skin tone to go with the black half of the top of him. I did put some streaks in his hair to try to represent some more other colors. I also, a lot of the piercings and stuff I gave was to try to give him more of a hardness, if that makes any sense. And I tried to go with jewelry and stuff that had more of a pointed aspect to it because of the fact the design of Dragapult, especially his head, has that very, very jagged, sharp edge type stuff going on. So that was sort of my inspiration for that. I did want to make sure that his shirt was like a blackish gray to fit with the top half of him, and the pants more that bluish green color. It's more towards a green. I think the pants that I choose for him has a slight more blue hue to it, but I thought it still really fit and it still gave that aspect of Dragapult. And this particular shirt has like these little arrows. Of course, they're really small and they're not a different color, but they're up on towards like the left shoulder, I believe. Which Dragapult has arrows on his body, so I thought that was pretty fitting. I didn't put that middle section of his skin tone. I didn't really put anything that was that color. At least not very bright. But I don't think I actually did at all, technically. But yeah, like I said, I was still very happy with how he turned out. And like it, and I think it still, and to some degrees, represents Dragapult. But I will say it's more loosely compared to some of the others. I've had some that I think, some you can tell better that which Pokemon they actually are supposed to be. I think with this one, you probably would have to sort of give some hints, maybe here and there. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can actually tell immediately that it was Dragapult. But I will say this one was slightly a challenge. I think I made it in my head more of a challenge than it was, because I wanted to get it so close. Like, I wanted to be so perfect with it, and then, I just couldn't. So, again, really like how the sim turned out. I still like how the sim looks, and I definitely actually like when you slightly change the skin tone. This is a nice looking sim, but in terms of fully fitting with Dragapult as some of the other ones I've done, not quite as much, but there's still some hint there. But maybe if I had a few more hair options, I think maybe some things I could have done a little bit differently if I had more options. But yeah, sometimes that's the problem. That's the challenge with some of these Pokemon to CAS creations. I don't go the CC shopping specifically for a particular Pokemon. When I'm CC shopping, I'm like, oh, that might be good for one of my really out there creative sims, like my Pokemon, or I did flower sims in the past, and stuff like that. I like doing stuff like that for my CAS. So when I see some of that stuff, I'll get it thinking of a particular series, but not a particular sim. So I'm limited to whatever I've found before the day of creating said sim. But yeah, I hope you still liked how he turned out and liked this video. If you have any Pokemon suggestions, or even if you want to see a male or a female version, if I did this one, I actually chose it to be male because my Dragapult that I have in my sword game is a male, so that was the reason why I chose male this time around. But if you ever want me to try to turn them into the opposite, because most Pokemon come in both genders, not all of them, but most do, so if you ever want to see that, let me know, or if there's a particular Pokemon that you don't think I've done and you would like to see, feel free to comment down below what that Pokemon is. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!